friends, my name is Eliana, and I am a children's instructor at the Elbridge branch of the Howard County Library System. I'm going to talk to you about some of our online resources and how to use them. Today, we are going to talk about TumbleBook Library and TumbleBookCloud Junior. The first step to access these and all of our online resources is to go to the Howard County Library System website at www.hclibrary.org. Once you're there, you want to click on the Youth and Educators tab right in the middle of the top blue bar. That will take you to our Learning from Home resources page. Sometimes this picture might change, or even the title could tweak a little, but it will always be the place to find great online resources. Since we're focusing on resources for elementary age students today, we are going to click on this link that says Children ages 5 to 10. Now you can see that we've come to the Learning from Home resources for elementary school students. That's you. If you scroll down this page, you will find all kinds of awesome resources that can help you in different ways. Like I mentioned, today we are going to focus on these two at the bottom of the Literacy, Reading, and Ebooks section. We'll start with TumbleBook Library. You may have access to TumbleBook Library through school, but you can also access it through HCLS. As you can see from the description, this resource has picture books in English, Spanish, and French, as well as graphic novels and nonfiction books. Most of the books can be read aloud to you, or you can read them yourself. When you click on the link in blue here, you will see that you come to a remote authentication page. This is where you need to put in your library card number and PIN. If you have a physical card from the library, just type in all the numbers below the barcode on the back without spaces. It should start with 21267. Your PIN is usually set to the last 4 digits of your phone number, although you can change that when you sign in. If you signed up for a card online, you should have a barcode number that starts with PACREG and then some numbers. Your PIN would also be the last 4 digits of your phone number, unless you chose a different one signing up. Check with your grown-up if you're not sure. If you go to a Howard County Public School, you also have a barcode number and PIN from the school. You can see these by logging into your hcpss.me page and clicking on the Hi logo button for the library. You may have to put in your HCPSS login again, but it will take you to a page like this that lists your barcode and PIN. Once you've given whichever type of card number you have, you will reach TumbleBook Library on a page that looks like this. The home page highlights a different story, read-along, ebook, graphic novel, nonfiction, and video each day. They scroll through in the middle of the top of the home page, showing the cover of the one from yesterday and the cover and description of today's. Try one of those if you're not looking for something specific. You can also search for exactly what you want using the Tumble search button with the magnifying glass icon in the top right corner. If you know what kind of title you want, like a storybook or a graphic novel, you can click on the colorful tabs at the top here to look at the options in that format. I want to show you what some of the different formats look like. Let's go left to right, so we'll start at storybooks. Each one will list the titles by subject with a button in the upper right to view all titles, which lists the full selection alphabetically. We'll take a look at Bloom as an example. Once you click on a title, you can see more details and a summary on a page like this. Click on the buttons on the left-hand side below the picture of the cover to read the book online, add it to your favorites, take a quiz. This won't be an option for all the titles. Or use the TumbleBook form to create a book report. When you click Read Online, you'll see a screen like this one. You can see at the bottom that you can play and pause the story with the middle button, or use the double triangle buttons pointing to the right or left to move forward or backward in the story. The buttons on the left control how the book plays. Auto will have the book read all the way through automatically. Manual lets you control when to turn the page and read it to yourself if you'd like. Whichever mode you have on will be shown in green with the other in red. The blue button with a speaker lets you turn the volume on or off if you don't want to listen to the story read aloud. The green Help button at the bottom can turn on some page labels. And when you're ready to go back to the main TumbleBooks page, click on the red Close button with the X to get out of the book player. When you want to try a read-along, which includes early readers as well as more advanced titles and classics, you will see a similar detail screen after choosing your title. We'll look at Anne of Green Gables for this one. When you click Read Online, you can see the reader looks different. Use the play button in the bottom left corner to start the read aloud, and it will turn into a pause button when it's running. The whole sentence that is being read aloud is highlighted like you see in this picture. The green buttons at either end of the bottom group of controls lets you turn pages forward or backward. Use Chapter menu to jump around between chapters of the book. Bookmark will let you set a bookmark or go to the bookmark you've set. Keep in mind that you can only have one bookmark at a time. Use text options to change the size, spacing, and font of the words. Color options even lets you change the color of your text and background. Sometimes this can make it easier to read. My Notes pulls up a digital pad for you to write notes on the book. As you can see, there is one notepad per chapter. Help just gives you a brief overview of the controls we just covered. Our next category is ebooks. Some of them will look like the read-alongs. They just won't have that play button at the bottom left. But others have illustrations, so they look different. I'm going to show you Flora and Ulysses as an example. You'll see the same kind of details when you first click on the title, but opening the book to Read Online pulls up a window that looks like this. I scroll down a bit from the cover. The book is divided up into sections, which you can move between by clicking on the Section menu button. That pulls up a list like this, where the chapters are grouped into sections. Clicking on one of those listings will take you to that section. Within each section, keep scrolling down to read in order. The Chapter menu button will let you jump to the different chapters within the section. The arrows at the very top that point to the right and left jump between sections, not pages or chapters. In graphic novels, you will find controls that are similar to the ebooks with illustrations. Let's look at the Book Bandit to see. Instead of a section menu and chapter menu, you can see a chapter menu and page menu, but they work basically the same. The chapter menu lets you move between the chapters of the book, and the page menu lets you jump between pages within that chapter. This time, those arrows at the top take you between chapters, not pages. Nonfiction is a little different again. Some of the titles will show Read Online and work like the storybooks or ebooks. Several others, like Big Blue here, will show you the option to play video instead. Clicking on that will pull up a new tab or window with a video of the book. That means you'll have less control over the speed and can't just read it yourself, but it is engaging and informative. And you can see here that it does still show the text of the book on screen with the current sentence being shown in red. Since it's a separate tab or window, you'll see a close window link in the lower right area, which you can use to get back to the screen where you clicked play video. Videos will look similar to that type of nonfiction book, although they're not structured like stories, and they don't show any subtitles or captions. Before I show you the Language Learning tab, I want to point out something you might have noticed already. The Language drop-down menu at the top right of these pages. Clicking on the little down arrow will show you English Flash, Français, which is French, Español, which is Spanish, and English non-Flash. Flash and non-Flash have to do with the way the books can be presented on your computer, but choosing French or Spanish will translate the whole site into that language, and only list books and activities available in the language you've picked. There are lots of great options in all three languages. If you want to switch anytime, just use that drop-down menu. In the Language Learning tab, you will find a selection of Spanish and French books, including some in video format, audiobooks, and graphic novels. Okay, we're moving on to playlists now. In this section, you can find stories grouped together to play right after each other, with a note of how many minutes the playlist lasts. They are sorted by how long the playlist is, or, if you scroll down, subjects or grade level. When you click on one of those, let's look at art class as an example, you'll get to a page like this one. Click on the star button to add the playlist to your favorites, or use the little I button to read online. When you do that, the TumblePad will pop open in a screen like this and start playing the first story. You can use the buttons at the bottom to move between books or even remove one from the playlist for yourself. It will still be there the next time you or anyone else opens the playlist. The top button on the left will let you pause or play the read aloud, and the buttons with double triangles on the left and right will turn pages in the book. The TumblePad should open in a new tab or window, so just close it to get back to the page where you played from. Finally, we come to this tab at the end that says Puzzles and Games. Be sure to check that one out too. There's lots of fun choices there. The blue bar at the top has a home button to bring you back to the main page anytime. Index will show you an alphabetical list of all the books on the site. It's long. If you add any favorites while you look around, you can get back to them quickly by clicking on Favorites in the blue bar here. You can even make your own playlist by clicking Add to Playlist below selected storybooks, and then access it from this button on the top bar. The second half of these buttons on the blue bar are aimed more at teachers, so you don't need to worry about those. Okay, I know that was a lot. There is so much in these resources. I want to show you one more great site from the folks at TumbleBooks, especially for those of you who are moving beyond picture books. Going back to our Learning from Home Resources page. Remember, that's in the Youth and Educators tab, then choosing children ages 5 to 10, you'll see TumbleBookCloud Junior right below TumbleBook Library. This is an awesome resource with ebooks, read-alongs, audiobooks, graphic novels, and nonfiction titles, as well as educational videos. You can find lots of classics along with newer titles. Plus, these ebooks do not have a limited number of copies, so you never have to wait in line to read them. Once you click on this link, you will have to put your library card information into the remote authentication page again. Then you will get to a page like this. You can browse by categories here in the middle of the front page, look at the index listing all the titles, or search in the bar at the top. If you're looking at a book you're interested in without time to read, you can mark it as a favorite to come back and look at later under My Favorites, here in the top bar. Once you choose a category from the home page, we're going to look at audiobooks. You can see a more detailed view of each title, and this panel appears on the left-hand side of the page, letting you move around between categories easily. I chose audiobooks because that is one that's different from TumbleBook Library. At the top, you can choose how you sort and view the titles in that category. The details for each title show you the title, summary, author, publisher, and length. Above the picture of the cover, you can click on the button to read, or listen to in this case, it online, and below, you can use that heart button to add it to your favorites. You can also click on the picture of the cover to open the book. When you listen to an audiobook online in TumbleBookCloud Junior, it should open in a new tab or window with a picture of the cover, a summary, and controls at the bottom. You can see buttons at the bottom to rewind, play, stop, and fast forward. When you're playing the audio, that play button turns to pause. The rewind and fast forward button move between tracks, and if you want to move within the track, you can click in the little gray bar that shows the time. You can also set a bookmark in the audio and go to the bookmark you've set. Remember, you can only set one bookmark at a time. Above those buttons, clicking on the Show Hide link will give you a list of all the tracks and let you move between them. It shows the track you are on at the top of the list. Since the audiobook opens in a new tab or window, you can close it to go back to the screen where you chose it. Looking closer at this yellow panel on the left, You can see some categories that are similar to TumbleBook Library, and a number of books are in both places. The videos have more extensive categories though, and the non-fiction books are much more limited with just biographies. When you choose an ebook or read-along, you will see that the controls are the same as we went over in TumbleBook Library. Graphic novels also have the same kinds of controls we saw in TumbleBook Library. Thanks for sticking with me through all of that. I hope you have a chance to explore and enjoy TumbleBook Library and TumbleBookCloud Junior. If you can't find your card number or PIN, you can have them sent to your email address by clicking on the My Account link at the top of the HCLS website. And you are welcome to contact us directly. Click on the Contact Us button in the top right corner of the homepage to get to a screen like this. You can see details here of how and when to call any of our branches or chat by clicking on the We Are Here button in the bottom right corner of our website. You can scroll down on this page to get to a form to send an email as well. We're happy to help if you have any trouble accessing these or any of our other resources. You can also email askhcls@hclibrary.org with questions or comments, including your thoughts on this video. Just be sure to mention that you're writing about the elementary e-resources video. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.